christiangeekcentral.com. Hey, I'm Peter Franson from christiangeekcentral.com and Spirit Blade Productions. This is the Christian Geek Radar, where I shine a spotlight on some cool stuff that I think may be of particular interest to Christian geeks. I hope you'll bear with me as my voice is kind of failing on me as I'm dealing with a cold this week, but we're going to muscle through this. First off, if you want more regular updates on what's going on in the wider world of Christian geekery, be sure to be connected to us on Twitter at Christian_geek. Let's get into the stories, though, covering the months of August and September. I'm running a little bit behind as we didn't have one of these installments last month. Lots to catch up on, so here we go. First off, BaptistStandard.com posted a nice article on the 6th of August titled, "Interested in Unreached People? Churches Should Love Their Nerds." And basically, this is an introduction to the online ministry and the convention ministry of Love Thy Nerd, which is focused on reaching out to non-Christian geeks. And so if you're interested in that kind of ministry, or if you've never heard of Love Thy Nerd before, they're certainly worth checking out, and you can get an introduction to them through this article at BaptistStandard.com. Let's see here. Speaking of Love Thy Nerd, they're going to be at PAX Unplugged, and they posted on their site, "We would love for you to join us in Philadelphia, PA, PAX Unplugged from December 6th through the 8th, 2019. We want you to come and help us love and serve our nerdy neighbors by playing games and building relationships. Details are still being ironed out, but you can message Matt Warmbier if you have any questions." More information about that over at lovethynerd.com. ChristCenteredGamer.com posted a nice bit of evergreen content. It's a retro review on Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne for the PlayStation 2, which deals with a lot of kind of like dark supernatural themes, and they really go into exploring those in a very nuanced and thoughtful way, and so I thought I would bring that to your attention. Although I've talked about it a few times before, I wanted to be sure you guys knew that the full interview that I had on Colin Moriarty's Fireside Chats podcast is out and available now, as well as the two-part video series that I put together talking about and covering my experience preparing for that interview and then how I felt that the interview went. For those of you that aren't familiar, Colin Moriarty is a personality in the games industry, covering games news, first for IGN for many years, then he co-founded Kinda Funny with Greg Miller, and now he's gone out on his own with a brand that he calls Colin's Last Stand, and I've been following him for a long time, and although he has identified as an atheist for many years, some interesting things have been going on as he's been processing that, and we had a really wonderful conversation about faith and doubt, and the reasons that I still hang on to what I would describe my doubting faith. So you can get more information about that if you go over to christiangeekcentral.com, or it's actually we've got a pinned tweet leading to that story over on our Twitter account at Christian_geek. Let's see here. Oh yeah, RZIM, Ravi Zacharias International Ministries, posted a pretty beefy kind of like interview and lecture conversation, what have you, video on their YouTube channel about human consciousness. And I thought this was worth pointing to because sci-fi about artificial intelligence often tries to implicitly redefine humanity as being merely physical beings. But is this idea true? As Christians, we don't believe it is. We believe there's a non-physical component. And RZIM explores the nature of human consciousness. They write in their description, "Conscious awareness seems to be central to what it means to be a living, breathing human being. But what is a human being?" This is a question that's occupied people at every stage of human history, and the one we're looking at tonight. So I would highly recommend you check that out on RZIM's YouTube channel. The Word for Word Bible comic is now making a 20-page free preview available. This work is described as unabridged, historically rich graphic novel of the Bible with a high view of Scripture. So already it's got my attention on a number of fronts just with that description alone. You can get a 20-page free preview at wordforwordbible.com/free-preview. Let's see, Beneath the Tangles is the Christian site focusing specifically on anime and anime culture. And they have staff openings right now. It's all on a volunteer basis, but if you are interested in that realm of geek entertainment and you're a believer, I wanted to let you know that they are looking to fill some positions over at beneath-the-tangles.com. You can get more information at beneath-the-tangles.com/staff-openings. The Crossover Alliance, which is basically a publisher of Christian speculative fiction, is putting together another anthology. This is going to be volume 5, the theme being life. You can get more information at thecrossoveralliance.com, but in a nutshell, they write, "We want your stories highlighting the gift that is life. For our 5th annual short story anthology, head to our submissions page and follow the guidelines to get your story to us. Submissions are open from Wednesday, September 25th to Sunday, December 1st. So if you are a writer looking to get your name some exposure, your work some exposure, that's something you might want to consider over at thecrossoveralliance.com. The Christian game developers behind Arizona Sunshine have announced that The Damned DLC is out now on PSVR and PC VR. Are you ready for some zombie slaying? Get the game in your favorite store via arizona-sunshine.com. All right, now we're going to turn it over to Adam David Collings for the news about the latest in the world of Christian geek fiction publishing.
This is the Christian Fantasy and Science Fiction Bulletin for September 2019, bringing you the latest news and releases on works of speculative fiction created by Christians. I'm Adam David Collings. John Delarose has released Justified, Book 1 in the saga of the Nano Templar. After years of fighting for justice with his deadly nanotech, Templar Drin abandons his post, crash-landing on a desert world controlled by a tyrannical alien empire. Its inhabitants are forced into slavery, broken where a once proud race cultivated its lands. For the first time in Drin's life, he has no backup, no support, none of his brothers. He stands alone against the evil. Drin must face overwhelming odds to liberate millions of slaves from their captors and bring faith to a downtrodden world. But in his way stands the most dangerous weapon in the galaxy. Book 2 of this series comes out on the 4th of October. Rebecca P. Miner has released Valor's Worth, Book 3 in the Windrider saga. Lieutenant Commander Van Janel Elikast has unfinished business with a dragonkin, and news of a recent abduction fans his smouldering convictions to flame. On a self-appointed investigation of converging threats, Van Janel discovers that enemies are poised to employ the chalice of Greg Tal in a gruesome plot of sacrifice and domination. This book concludes the trilogy about dragon-riding elven cavalry. The finalists for this year's Christie Awards have been announced. In the Visionary category, we have Mark of the Raven by Morgan L. Bussey, Shivering World by Kathy Tyers, The Story Peddler by Lindsay A. Franklin, and The Wounded Shadow by Patrick W. Carr. Congratulations to all these authors. And the YA category is dominated by speculative fiction too, which is great because it shows we're raising up a new generation of Christian geeks. The finalists are The Crescent Stone by Matt Michalotis, Forks by Nadine Brandis, and The Warrior Maiden by Menelil Dickerson. H.L. Burke has released Daughter of Sun, Bride of Ice, the first book in the Ice and Fate duology. To save a kingdom, she must lose her heart. Born a princess in a land where the sun never sets, Arin longs for the freedom to use her inborn magic, but when an emissary from the dark side of the world requests an alliance sealed by marriage, Arin jumps at the chance to escape the rules of her homeland, even if it means marrying a prince she's never met and never seeing the sun again. Gary W. Ritter has released Alien Revelation, The Unveiling, Book 1 in the Sons of God Chronicles. When Carrie Shelton experiences an alien abduction, her life turns upside down. Aliens have ruled the Earth since World War II, but Carrie's encounter changes everything she's believed. She becomes a fervent worshipper of the Nine Mighty Ones, the greatest of the aliens who are helping restore harmony on Earth. But her beliefs are challenged when a friend questions the aliens' intent. Chased by Nephilim, their giant hybrid offspring, Carrie must make a final decision as to where her loyalties lie. This book is the winner of the Christian Redemptive Fiction Award and the Reader's Favourite Award. Wendy Blanton has released Dawn Before the Dark. An ancient curse keeps men in fear of dragons, so only women can ride them in Slan, while only men can perform magic. As a necromancer from beyond the edge of the known world threatens invasion, Bryant appears, a young man who loves dragons. Wyban Tanwin must decide, is Bryant the Dragonborn the answer to the prophecy? And will he save Slan? Enclave Publishing are launching a new YA imprint called Enclave Escape. Their first title will be a standalone fantasy by Shauna Schroeder called The Vault Between Spaces. And this first book releases in February 2020.
Thank you very much for sharing that with us, Adam. Guys, that was like half of what Adam reported on this month. There were a bunch of great other stories that I didn't include here that you'll definitely want to check out if you are interested in Christian geek fiction publishing. You can get a bunch more from Adam over at his YouTube channel and adamdavidcollings.com. And if you'd like to suggest a website to be featured on the Christian Geek News Radar, you can drop a link in the comments, or you can email me at paeter@spiritblade.com. Again, you can get much more regular updates by staying connected to our Twitter feed at Christian_geek. And I also share some highlights from that Twitter feed each week on the Christian Geek Central podcast, which you can get on iTunes and probably any podcatcher that you're using. So I hope you'll consider checking that out. That's all I have for this month. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Hey, Peter Franson here from christiangeekcentral.com and Spirit Blade Productions. For my 6th consecutive year, I'm participating in Extra Life, a charity event that raises funds to provide medical care for children in urgent need. I'm also leading the Christian Geek Central Extra Life team, which you're still welcome to join by following the link in the description below. Once again this year, I'm drawing attention to our team's fundraising by performing a 24-hour marathon of video gaming that I will stream live on youtube.com/christiangeekcentral and christiangeekcentral.com beginning 6 a.m. Pacific time on Saturday, November 2nd. You can donate on my page or on any team member's page by following the links below, where you will also find incentives and rewards for doing so. For example, on my page, for $5 or more, you can choose a topic to add to my +3 page of many topics that I'll be blabbing my opinions on during the live stream. For $10 or more, you get the previous reward and a download code for a free copy of the Spirit Blade Special Edition audio drama. For $20 or more, you get the previous rewards and you can choose a game for me to play during my November 2nd live stream. Pick a favorite or torture me with something terrible or rage-inducingly difficult. For $30 or more, you get the previous rewards and you can choose a song for me to sing during my November 2nd live stream. Pick an old favorite of yours or just make me humiliate and torture myself with something no one wants to hear. And for $50 or more, you get all the previous rewards and a download code for every MP3 product at spiritblade.com. That's an $80 value. On top of that, I've set fundraising milestones that will unlock strange and unusual happenings as I reach them. At $200, I'll have a free download day for everyone who visits spiritblade.com on November 6th. And as my total goes beyond $200, I'll unlock increasingly more content for that free download day. I will also let my boys tickle me for 1 minute straight during my November 2nd live stream. And depending on how far beyond $200 my fundraising goes, I will cover my face in peanut butter and jelly while talking about horror movies, put on a Frozen Solid t-shirt the morning of my live stream while playing video of me singing soothing classical music at my senior recital in college, shoot water up my nose with a turkey baster, get my wife Holly to play a game with me for 30 minutes of the live stream, or the granddaddy of all milestones, squirm intensely, mortified while showing an embarrassing video clip from the original stage version of Spirit Blade. Now, there are some stipulations and time limits on those rewards and milestones, so quickly follow the link below to my fundraising page for all the details. I hope you'll be a part of helping me and the Christian Geek Central team do some good for some kids who really need it. And then, please join me at youtube.com/christiangeekcentral for my 24-hour marathon starting at 6 a.m. Pacific on Saturday, November 2nd. Hope to see you there.